welcome to Wilder Outdoor Academy. In today's lesson, I'll show you how to make an easy shelter using nothing but materials you'll find in the woods, plus about 6 feet of paracord. Now, today's shelter has a lot of different names. Could be considered an A-frame shelter. Some people call it a leaf pile shelter. But essentially what we're going to use as our base, and what most people will use, is one very long branch. And so this is about 3 to 4 inches thick. It's about 10 feet long. Now, a lot of times when you see these out in the woods, people will lean this up against a tree, usually that has a fork in it that'll hold it, and then they'll lay their materials on top of this to build the shelter. Well, you don't always have access to a tree with a fork in it. And so what I'm going to show you today is how to build this shelter with a tripod. And so in addition to your long branch, you'll need 2 additional branches that are about 6 to 8 feet long. And it doesn't need to be as thick as your first, but they need to be sturdy because they're going to carry a lot of weight. And we will use the tripod today in place of laying this large branch up against a tree. So the first step, if we're going to make it using a tripod, is to tie a tripod lashing. Now, the purpose of this video is not to show you the tripod lashing specifically, but I will give you as much of it as I can. There's a lot of work to move these around, so I'll bring them up closer to you so you can see the details. But what we're going to do is we're going to take our long, thick branch and put that in the middle of our other 2. And the first step is going to be to tie a knot around one of the outer branches, about 8 to 12 inches down. Now, we can tie any kind of knot we want to start. It can just be an overhand knot, just a loop like that, like you're tying your shoes. Or if you want a more advanced knot, you can tie what's called a timber hitch. And timber hitch is cool. It's a very strong knot or hitch. We're going to cross our rope, cross our ends, and then bring this back so that the short end, the tag end, loops around the long end. And then with the loop that we've made around the rope, or around the branch, I'm going to wrap it through about 3 times. 2, 3, pull it tight. And that's kind of a fancy knot. Any knot will do. We've just got to hold on like that. So we take our 3 branches, again, with the largest one in the middle, and we're going to wrap them through like a figure 8 over and over and over again. So I'm going to go behind the middle one, in front of the far one, behind the far one, in front of the middle one, and over and over and over again, and keep it real tight. Now, I'm going to do that probably 3 or so times so that we are wrapped around real good. And then with the paracord we have left, we're going to go in a circle in between each of these sticks. We're going to do that for each of these branches. We're going to do that about 2 times each. So again, keeping it tight. Wrap it around. Now we do that on this side as well, 2 times through. Again, keeping everything as tight as we can. Circle. And then we just tie it off, just like we did the first one on the far end. So we can tie a knot just like we would tie our shoelace, or start tying our shoelaces, that overhand knot. We have, it's called a tripod lashing. It's not the prettiest one, but it's going to work. And to make the tripod, what I'm going to do is take my long stick, my long branch, and that's my middle branch, put it down, take my 2 outer branches, cross them, put them forward, cross them over the top, put them forward, and here I have a tripod, which is the beginning of our shelter. So once I have my main structure set up, my main tripod, it's going to hold a lot of weight. What I want to do is take branches and start laying them up against my main big branch. And we'll want them all sorts of sizes, from big to small, because As you can see, we're going to have to lay them across the entire height of this structure. So we'll cover this all in branches, varying thicknesses, doesn't really matter, but we want it to spread out because we're going to sleep under here. That's where we're going to go. So the branches are going to make a nice shelter for us, and we're going to go underneath. So I've taken my tripod here, my main support beam, and I've laid sticks all on one side of it, thick branches. In fact, I'll step away so you can see. It goes from front to back. And what I would need to do, I don't actually have enough wood in my yard to do this, but what I need to do is do the same thing to the other side so that I basically have an A that comes down to the ground, or a triangle that comes down to the ground. And then the last step with this debris hut is to lay leaves all over, just pack it with leaves. What that'll do is it'll keep you warm and dry. And if you want to sleep in it, you go in this way. Tuck yourself in, stay warm and dry. So here you go, a debris hut with nothing but a piece of paracord.